Oh, hello and welcome back. It is your boy Zaku, and we're going to be going over the latest UFC fight night. A pretty good one. Plessis taking on former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman. Before going over that, just to recap how we did last week, went 11-3, had some good picks. The card went exactly how I expected. I said my grievances with McGregor, and I didn't know what people were thinking of him coming back off a 5-year layoff. And while everyone was shocked, oh my god, I can't believe this happened, I fully saw a world where McGregor just came back and just broke his stuff in the first minute. This is why I bet Holloway to get a TKO in the first minute, which I didn't get because Holloway was kind of, I don't know, they were just delaying it, but I missed it by like 2 seconds or something like that. But regardless, I didn't care. And then I didn't think I predicted the Patty versus BSD fight. I got that one 100% correct, and even then I was surprised at how much of a dumbass BSD was. But regardless, we're going to be going into a pretty decent fight night. It's very top heavy. Like, the top of the card is pretty solid. Not a ton, once you get past the co-main event, not a ton of name value. If you know UFC and you watch, you'll know guys like Hooper, you'll know guys like McMillan. I know he's only had one fight, but still. But then as you go down a little bit lower, what you're going to be going, it's, yeah, there's a lot of canceled bouts, unfortunately. Like Barboza versus Hardy would have been really good. Tavares versus Marc-Andre Barrios would have been really good. Holland versus Jacoby Smith, that sucks we lost that. But regardless, let's look at some of these fights. First fight we're going to be looking at is going to be Damian Anderson versus Ezra Elliott. This is a pretty short notice fight that I don't really have anything on. To be perfectly honest with you, they don't even have the odds for it. Not a ton of tape on this. I'm going to just really... It's two debutantes. I'm going with Damian Anderson to get it done by TKO. Just because I didn't like what I saw from Elliott. Is there even any odds on this? Probably not. No, yeah, this is like super short notice. Like, I think this got announced like maybe an hour ago, so I don't blame anyone for not having any information on it. But what we do have information on is Deone Barbosa versus Ana Melisano. So as you know, Barbosa was supposed to fight against Veronica Hardy, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was supposed to be against Veronica Hardy. Barbosa is a really good grappler, and she's really good at putting people in bad spots. The sub is very live for this one, but I expect a very grindy decision, and I think it's a very clear win for her. It's women's MMA, so you never know. She's a pretty heavy favorite, as you can see, minus 400. It's just that she hasn't been looking good. She's been win one, lost one, win one, lost one. So why am I not going with Melisano? Her grappling isn't good. Her grappling isn't that good, and even though you don't see a loss here, she fought on The Ultimate Fighter, and she looked god-awful and lost, but that's not a pro fight, so it doesn't count. I think she's going to have the better kickboxing, but she doesn't have the power of consequence to really land or hurt anything. Barbosa's a little bit older, but yeah, I'm going to go with the heavy favorite to get it done by decision, but I don't like it, and I'm not betting it at all. I will put nothing on that fight, and I refuse to. You can't make me. Now we're going to have Alvin Hines versus RJ Harris. Ugh. Who's going to win this one? This is a hard one because Harris is coming off short notice, off a long layoff, because I believe he popped, if I remember correctly. But he's a good brawler, and he's got a very good left hook, and he has some sneaky submissions. His standing guillotine's pretty good. He only debuted, I believe, 16 months ago. He's not been a fighter for no, that's RJ Harris I'm thinking of. RJ Harris is the one who debuted 16 months ago. I mean, both these guys are very low in experience. It's just that the long layoff for Hines, I just don't like, to be honest with you, and that's the main reason why I'm... I don't know. Also, it's short notice for Harris. Forgive me. But yeah. Hines, I don't know, man. He's got decent wrestling and striking, but I feel like he's going to walk into a mean left hook from Harris, to be honest with you. I think he's going to walk into that. I don't know. He's got the zombie style defense, while Harris could just brawl. I'm going to go with Harris TKO haphazardly, so I'll be taking the dog. I was about pick swap right there. I had Harris TKO and I was about pick swap. Aldrin Correa versus Stuart Nickel. We don't need to talk about this. Yep. Minus 1,000. Huge underdog. 3-fight losing streak. It's MMA, so anything can happen. But I'm not the kind of guy who goes there and be like, yeah, anything can happen, and then I'm gonna pick anything to happen every single time. No, you're just throwing money into the well if you're gonna put anything on Stuart Nickel. Aldrin Correa should get it done. He's gotta TKO him. He's looked really good. He's just a much better striker overall, more talented. The only thing that he even needs to somewhat worry about is the grappling of Nickel, but he's not like a grappler. His grappler's just average. He has a lot of spin attacks, probably too much spin attacks, and a haphazard defense for Nicole, of course. So that's why I think Aldrin Correa should get the TKO and look good in the spot. I hope he does. I'm sick of these minus 1,000s, minus 800s, and they look like they should be like freaking minus 120 at best. Next, we're going to have Felipe Franco versus Luis Rodriguez Jr. Also not a good one. Not a good fight, to be honest with you. I'm going to be going with... I believe Levi was on a suspension for roids too, wasn't he? Wasn't he on a suspension for roids? I can't remember. But I don't want to go with Luis Rodriguez Jr., to be honest with you. I also just realized I didn't write a winner for this. I just wrote my notes. I didn't write a winner down. Funny. Probably because I'm super on the fence of it. It's just I'm not high on Franco. I think he's going to be the better grappler, but he had a competitive fight with Mario Pinto, which is nice, but he lost. But Rodriguez, he's just a sloppier striker with a questionable gas tank. I'm going to be taking the underdog. I'm going to go with the underdog. Screw it. I'm going to take him to get done by TKO. I know he's never been knocked out, but I'm going to take you to get done by TKO. I think he's got some good power to him. That's not what I'm betting on. Not what I'm confident, not what I'm betting on. Seok Hyun Choi versus Jean-Paul Leb. I just heard multiple people pronounce it, and my brain just won't say it. Lebosignani. I just heard people say it for my tape study. Okay, forget it. Okay, Jean-Paul, he is mainly a kicker, and I think he really struggles with pressure. Phil Rowe landed some hard shots on him, and I don't like how he responded to those. Meanwhile, Hyun, I think his striking is just overall much more dynamic. I just like him a lot better in this spot, to be honest with you. I think he has more power, better boxing overall, and he has a very confusing karate style. If you add in wrestling pressure, which I think he will do, I've seen him do it a few times, I think he should take it. I think he should win. My only thing is I think he's a little bit of a decision merchant, but he's got good wins. Oben Elliott, I know he's probably not going to be UFC much longer on a 2-fight or 3-fight losing streak of 1 finish. And Phil Rowe, he's but those are good wins at this level compared to a Jean-Paul who also fought a Phil Rowe. I much like how Hyun-Kyo fought Phil Rowe than he did. And that's really is contender series fight. Who cares? I'm going to go with Seok Hyun-Kyo, but I'm going to definitely take him to get done by decision. And he is a moderate favorite at minus 200. Okay, now we're into some solid stuff. This fight is okay. I'm not a huge Austin Bashi fan, but this is a better fight than the prelims. We're going to have Jose Delgado versus Austin Bashi. I really like Jose Delgado from what I've seen from him. I'm I'm gonna believe in him. I know it's near even odds, and it really makes sense because it's a close matchup. It's just that Austin Bashi is a smaller guy. While he does have the grappling advantage, he doesn't have enough of a grappling advantage to take Delgado. My only issue with Delgado, the Fili fight. Touchy-feely is not good. If you've been following, you know I've been bashing Touchy-feely. Touchy-feely was decent like a while ago, but he's not good. And the fact that you can argue Feely won, I personally think Delgado won, but the fact that you can argue that is not a good sign. It's even worse going to a split decision win with Andre Feely than losing to Nathaniel Wood, who's pretty freaking solid. I still think Delgado is good. I think he's got really good power to him. I think he's got really good fight IQ. I think he's a good sniper overall. His knees. It's just he needs to watch out for the grappling of Austin Bashi. But as long as he uses his reach advantage, which he has a decent reach advantage, and as long as he uses his size advantage, which is pretty big, he's way taller than him, almost 6 foot, I think he should beat Austin Bashi. So I'm going to go with Delgado, and I know Bashi's never been knocked out, but I'm going to take him to get knocked out here. I think Delgado will get the TKO. And now on to a very solid fight. Tommy Gunn McMillan versus Alberto Montez. This is a hard fight for me to pick, and I'm... Oh! Okay, I didn't think McMillan would be the favorite. Interesting. Haphazardly, I will be picking McMillan, but if I had to make a bet for this fight, if there's a bet to be, hey, this fight's going to be pretty freaking fun, that's what I'd bet. Tommy McMillan is not going to get far in the UFC. I mean, they're going to try to get him far. I'm surprised they gave him Alberto Montez, to be honest with you. I really thought they're going to try and push him more because he's Sean O'Malley's boy. He fights nothing like Sean O'Malley. He's just a wild man. The guy fought, I can never pronounce his name, but whatever his name is, Zelchini, that was just a slugfest. And you shouldn't be having a slugfest against a guy of that level. That was just insanity. It was fun to watch, but it tells me, okay, he's going to be a fun guy. He's going to be a Michael Chandler. He's not going to be like a Sean O'Malley. Like, Sean O'Malley was a can crusher, but he was dispatching those cans, and he is a good fighter. McMillan... Now, Alberto Montez is also a pretty good fighter, and I actually think he's going to be the better striker, believe it or not, despite him primarily being a grappler. Like, he's like a front choke guy. Like, I think all of his wins are Darce, Anaconda, Darce, yeah. He's just nothing but a front choke guy. I don't know, man. I just feel like the sloppy brawl of McMillan is going to give him problems. It's a hard one. It's a very hard one. I definitely thought McMillan would be an underdog here, and I'm surprised he isn't, but I'm going to be going with him as a slight favorite. But make no mistake, McMillan is going to get heavily overrated in the future. I just think he gets this one. I think he makes it fun. And we've seen McMillan get out some tight spots before, so grappling-wise, so we'll see. Now on to Tabitha Ricci versus Fatima Klein. Did they change her picture? I don't know. Wow. Remember when Ricci was like on top of the freaking world and then she went up against Yan Xiaonan? Everyone's like, oh. Ricci, I think her inactivity has caught up with her. That's her problem. She's just always been very inactive. 2 years ago, and another year layoff. Then she was active. It's just her inactivity caught up for her, and now she's being more active. She's a very good grappler, and she's very strong, but I think her defense is just ultimately going to fail her, because her striking as well is just super basic, and this is somewhat of a short notice fight for her. Meanwhile, Fatima Klein, on the other hand, I think she's got really good grappling, but her head kicks and her striking is super technical. I think her grappling is underrated. I don't think she's going to be the better grappler, but I think how good her grappling is going to be what needs to nullify Baby Shark. And then I think after Archangel, that's a cool-ass nickname. And I think otherwise, Fatima Klein is just going to just put it on her. The only issue I have is low power. Like, it's women's MMA, but she's really a cardio kickboxer, tap kind of fighter. That's what Fatima Klein is. But I think she'll land on her. I think she'll hurt her at some points, and I think she's gonna win a decision. It's gonna go like the fight, women's fight we had last week with Wang Kong. I think it's gonna be a similar fight to that, to be honest with you. Chase. Have we not learned our lesson? I've learned my lesson. Alexander Hernandez and Lance Gibson Jr., they're not good. Alexander Hernandez was decent years ago. He's not good now. And losing to him. Getting colded, by the way. Absolutely colded only 3 months ago. It sucks because Mitch Ramirez sucks. He's not good. This will be a fun fight. Make no mistake. I'm not complaining about No, this is a fun fight, actually. It's just that I can't trust you anymore, Hooper. I want to say he's my boy, but I can't trust him. I don't like the move up to lightweight, but he's been a lightweight for a while now. It's not like, oh, he just went. He's been a lightweight for a while now, and I don't like it still. He's getting chinned. He's getting knocked out. And Mitch Ramirez, while I think he sucks, guess what's the one thing he has? Knockout power. His grappling isn't good, but he's not going to get knocked out. I don't know. Also, by the way, he fought Carlos Prates. Yeah, he fought Carlos Prates as a Contender Series. I did not know that. I only watched the last 3 fights, but I don't want to. So to preface this, I took Mitch by TKO. That is exactly what I picked. That's what I wrote down. I'm wondering if I want to flip-flop it. I see he's a big underdog, which is stupid. Chase should not be that big a favorite. Not after those 2 fights. I don't care how bad Mitch Ramirez is. Chase Hooper has proven that he should never be a minus 375 unless he's going up against a flyweight that can't punch. I might pick some bantamweights against him, to be honest with you, because his chin's just gone. His striking defense is gone. He's always been a BJJ guy, but with poor wrestling. If he gets it down to the ground, he's excellent. If he doesn't, he's gonna get knocked out. So, but he did freaking rock Slava Claws. I have no idea how he did that. I'm gonna stick with Rich Ramirez by TKO. I don't bet that. No confidence, but I just can't pick you, Hooper. I can't. On to the co-main event of the evening, Jared, the Killer Gorilla Cannonier versus Christian Leroy Duncan. I'm going to be going with Christian Leroy Duncan to get it done. I'm going to pick him decision, though. Jared Cannonier, I like him. I've been a fan of him. It's just that, it's time, man. 42, it's time, man. He was such a badass back in the day, but ever since the Izzy fight, he hasn't been that badass. He's had some moments, like the Hobocop victory, I did not expect. I thought he was going to die to Hobocop. But regardless to that, the Michael Page performance was not a good look. These 2 fights were not good. By the way, these should be reversed. Imavov was an early stoppage. Screw Imavov. He should not have gotten a stoppage for that. Nope. Meanwhile, Kylo Baharo got robbed of the TKO because they didn't want to stop it like they stopped this fight. But screw that, screw Imavov. But Baralio should have got the TKO. He basically murdered Cannonier. Like, that boy was straight up dead to rights. Which is why I heavily thought Robocop. How the hell did you get murdered by Baralio but beat Robocop? But yes, Christian Leroy Duncan, on the other hand, is a dangerous, powerful guy. He is scary. The only thing that gives a little bit of favor and credence to Cannonier is the veteran, the savvy, crafty veteran performance from Cannonier against Robocop. And Christian Leroy Duncan looked abysmal against Roman Dolidze. This is what I was talking about earlier. He was like a was he like a minus 600, 400 or something like that? He didn't look good. And Roman Dolidze was straight up, like, there are people saying in his camp, like, yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. He's just showing up for a check. I was so convinced he was going to finish him, and it went to a do-nothing decision. Regardless, CLD otherwise is a powerful, strong guy. They both have a common opponent, which CLD did lose to, which is funny. But CLD, I think he's just better with the age, the momentum, everything like that. And his spinning attacks are a problem. He's a good sniper, and Cannonier can get hurt. Cannonier, like I said, he can hurt people, but the thing is, like, Hobocop won that fight because he mixed in the grappling. Cannonier's grappling isn't good enough. I think CLD will just out-muscle him in the grappling, especially being the bigger guy. I know Cannonier fought at heavyweight, but he's always been a small guy from middleweight. I think at natural middleweight, I'm not saying he should go down to welterweight. No, that wouldn't work. But he's just been too small. Not even too small. He's just been small. CLD, decision though. I'm not going to pick him to get finished, but he is very live for a finish. Make no mistake. I'm not picking CLD because I didn't like that CLD by TKO. I'm not picking against that because of this fight. I'm picking against that because Cannonier, he's crafty. He's crafty. And on to the main event of the evening. Dricus du Plessis versus Kamaru. Usman. Marty Fake Newsman. Dricus. I'm taking Dricus. There's too many things that people are getting wrong in this fight. For one, age. Stop ignoring age. Sure, these unks may be making the comeback and turning back the clock, but stop banking on it. Kamaru Usman is 1-4 in his last 4 fights. And he beat Buckley. And like I said, Buckley, my boy, sucks at grappling. He's just bad. Oh, he should have won against Chimaev. No, he shouldn't have. Chimaev gassed out. True. There we go. That's why Usman won the last round. But other than that, Chimaev got 10-8 in the first round. Easy 10-8. And then we saw these fights. And I don't care what anyone says. Yeah, he was winning this fight, but he got. He got. Simple as that. And this was a clear victory for Edwards and indicative of where he's at. Dricus du Plessis, yes, he got absolutely grapple hug-loved by Khamzat Chimaev, but it's Khamzat freaking Chimaev. That was a horrible performance from DDP, but it's not like I don't see Usman doing the same thing. And Usman was slowing down in his fight against Buckley, and Buckley was winning that last round. A bigger and stronger guy like DDP, who is a former champion with amazing wins over Robert Whittaker, Strickland, he won both fights. Well, I mean, people don't contest that one, but he won this fight. I don't care what you say. Israel Adesanya, like, he's good. DDP is good. Yes, he can get out grappled. We saw the Brunson fights. We even saw, I think, Darren Till landed a takedown or something on him, but I still think DDP pulls through with that. You need to knock him out or really have good grappling. And the thing about Usman is he doesn't have knockout power when he's grappling. He does not have ground and pound. He does not have submissions. It's just control grappling. But as long as DDP worked on that, which I believe he did. I believe that my boy did. He should absolutely win this fight. I think he's going to beat him. Usman's knees are shot. His grappling isn't going to be enough to get a finish, and DDP is not going to lay on the ground again, and he's old. Usman's old. So I'm going to be going with DDP, and I wrote TKO. I might swap it to decision. Keep in mind, DDP, he does have good cardio, but he is a finisher. The only time he's not finishing anyone is Strickland, because Strickland does a great job of making it not a fight that can be finished because of... I'm not going to talk about it, I don't like Strickland. But I'm going to go with DDP, and I'm going to go with DDP to get it done by TKO. I'm going to believe in him, and I hope he comes back to the title picture, and I hope he beats Strickland up again, because while I'm happy Khamzat Chimaev's out there, because, you know, Chimaev inactive. At least Hamza very rarely has a boring fight. Meanwhile, how many exciting Strickland fights could you name? The Fluffy fight? Even the DDP fights were not that good. They were good if you look at the cards they were on, but in terms of the actual fights, believe it or not, they were nothing special. But yeah, DDP, I think he should get it done. He has to worry about Usman's jab as well too. He was walking into Strickland's jab a lot, but he adjusted. I think the high kicks are going to be a good thing for DDP. And I just think the physicality overall is going to be the main thing with DDP. So give me him by TKO, and that is going to be UFC OKC. Why are they in OKC for this fight? I have no idea, but you know what? In OKC, they're going to crown the true king of Africa. Once again, this has been your boy Zaku, and bye-bye.